Back again, right? I mean,
Yeah.
is it what's the feeling? Is you something like a fresh start each time, or do you carry the weight of the last results, or what does it feel like?
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just happy to have a fight. I was kind of struggling to find a fight, so this popped up, and we'll take it. It's a good opportunity. It's just kind of a weird relationship, because they can't decide whether they love me or hate me. Cut me, bring me back. Cut me, bring me back. It's kind of like a toxic ex, break up with me, and then like a few weeks later, just hit me with a random text like, "Hey, what's going on?"
What's it been like for you? Because it is weird. Like it's been the most weird journey for you, right? These starts and stops and brushes. I mean, has it been easy to stay motivated and consistent, or has it been a challenge?
It's been frustrating, I would say, is kind of the best word to sum it up. But at the end of the day, regardless of all the tournament and everything, like, I'm a professional fighter, and so I want to fight. So regardless of if I'm in the tournament or not, like, ultimately I'm just happy to have a fight, happy to have a fight and get decent money for it.
You kind of joked about it, right? But I mean, do you come in also like a chip on your shoulder, like, I want to prove to these son of bitches I should have been here all along? Or?
I mean, yeah, I guess a little bit. Like, yeah, anytime someone kind of treats you like that, you want to prove them wrong and be like, "Hey, you messed up, you made a mistake." And I want to show that to them. But I mean, it's not like I really need extra motivation because it's a fight. I got some dude over there who's been training for however long, 6-8 weeks or whatever, specifically to beat me up, and that's generally all the motivation I need. It's just I don't like getting beat up. It's not fun, so I like to avoid it.
Nice. You get a chance to fight here in Vegas. Is that fun for you, or do you kind of enjoy traveling or doing it elsewhere?
The travel, it's kind of cool, but it's also just adds like more stress and more, I don't know, more difficulties to the process, I guess. I'm a creature of habit, so I don't like my routines being messed up, and it's been quite a few years. I think like seven years, I think now, since I fought locally. So it's a nice change to be able to sleep in my own bed and not break my routines and just kind of keep everything as normal, and it makes it a little bit easier.
What do you think of the matchup you got here with Impa? I mean, have you been following his career, or is somebody you paid attention to?
Not particularly. I mean, he got famous for being on the wrong end of a highlight, which, I mean, whatever, it happens. It's not like he's a bad fighter because of that. Like, it's just kind of I don't want to say like a freak or lucky knockout, but it's kind of it was a weird happening, and whatever. I'm not thinking that he's not a good fighter because of that, because I watched him. He is a good fighter. He's got a lot of good qualities. Can't say I've followed his career or anything, but I was aware of who he was because of that, and then I got the matchup, so I obviously went back and watched his fights and stuff. And he's tough. He's a good, skilled fighter. Stays real composed, and he's got some good attributes. So it'll be a tough fight. I'm not thinking it's easy because I've seen him get knocked out before, or because he's coming up in weight. It's still a tough fight.
All right, so last thing for me, what would it mean for you to win this tournament? I mean, Grant, all the experience you had, the starts and stops, the weird relationship. I mean, what would it mean for you to win this thing?
To win the tournament? Well, I gotta be in it before I can win it. Like, right now, I just have a one-off fight, so I'm not even involved, and that's not really on my mind at the moment. Like, obviously, I don't know if they have a designated alternate. Like, I was in that position last year, so I would assume they do. But if they don't, then they're probably looking at me and Impa as.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought it was an alternate fight, so it's not just a one-off.
No, just completely no strings attached, one-off fight. At least on my end. Maybe they told him that he's the alternate. Yeah. I don't know. But obviously, like, it's a possibility of someone falls out. I would assume that my fight with him is the one that they're going to look at to pull someone into, unless there's another fight I'm not aware of. But yeah, so I mean, I guess it's a possibility, but it's not really in my mind because I'm not worried about it. It's just I got a fight in front of me, and that's what I'm focused on.
Hey, Cory, you've been getting some work in with Mr. Strickland. How has that been?
It's always good. Strickland has whatever reputation he has, people have their opinions on him, and I've trained with him for, I'm not sure how long, but a few years now. Like, he's been one of my best training partners. He's definitely can be an asshole, but he's aware of that, and overall he's a good guy. Like, I know him personally, and I see how he can be an asshole and how some people would be put off by him and things he does and says and stuff, but ultimately he is a good guy, and he's a great training partner, great teammate. We'll say you kind of do have to know how to use him as a training partner, because He, for the most part, he's gotten better as the years have gone on, but for the most part, he kind of has one speed. And, you know, he doesn't like to drill or work technique or anything like that. It's just go live. So you kind of have to know how to use him. And, you know, if I don't have a fight, I'll kind of limit my rounds with him because I'm not looking to fight someone every day if I don't have a fight. But in the lead up to a fight, and I want to get that fight feel, you know, he's one of the guys that I absolutely want to go with because, you know, I get the fight feel of it. It's a little bit different when someone's going 100% at you, trying to knock you out. And, you know, it's good to kind of get used to that feeling a little bit and not have it be like something new that kind of just jolts you when you step into the cage for the actual fight.
Who have been some of your other training partners?
I mean, he's been one of my main ones the past few weeks, but Khalil Roundtree I train a lot with. Yeah, I would say he's probably like my main one over at Syndicate, and then Jamal Pogues, he's injured from his fight, so I haven't been able to train with him. He's got a broken hand, but normally I train a lot with those two, and then yeah, I'll bounce around here and there and get work with other people. And I definitely, like I said, like to get rounds with Strickland leading up to a fight. It's always good work, and you know, pushes the pace, really make sure your cardio's on point and make sure you're not leaving any holes.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah.
The Ultimate Fighter just wrapped up and it has a lot of veterans, guys going back into it that have been in the UFC, and then there's even some guys that actually won the Ultimate Fighter going back into it. I don't know if you saw them. What are your thoughts about like veterans going back in the Ultimate Fighter, and would you ever subject yourself to going through a crazy, tough fighter season again?
So I mean, a lot of people kind of, I guess it's kind of mixed reactions about the Ultimate Fighter. You know, people coming off the show. You know, some people love it, some people hate it. My experience was overall it was good. Other than like I got my neck injury and that put me in the worst pain I've ever experienced, and so that was miserable. But if I completely ignore the pain and just look at everything else, it wasn't bad. You know, like I wasn't one of these people who had a family that they were leaving, so like it was a bit easier for me, I guess. But ultimately, it's like 5 weeks and like, whatever. Like be an adult, you can just not see someone for 5 weeks. You'll be okay. I guess it's probably different if you have kids and a wife and stuff, but I don't know. Still, just be an adult. Like, you're fine. So I don't think it was that bad, and like I wouldn't if it was the best opportunity available to me at the time. Yeah, sure, I got no problem with it. It was cool. It was kind of fun. Meet some new people. It's really interesting, unique experience. You know, it's I guess that's the best word for it. It's unique. You know, it's unlike anything that you'll do anywhere else in life, and most people will never do anything even close to that. So it's kind of cool just to get the experience. You know, so you know, I'd be open to it, but it's always about like what opportunities are available to me. Like if I have something better than that, then no. But if that's like the best thing available to me, and then yeah, sure.
Well, it's funny because a lot of the veterans, as opposed to the prospects that are going in, the veterans have the experience. They seem to be a little bit more mature. Then there's the prospects that are loud, supposedly like dirty and all of that other kind of stuff. If you went back in, what side would you be in? Would you still be the loud, fun type, or do you think you'd be more mature, sitting back looking at the prospects like, man, these kids are crazy?
I mean, I'm not generally like a loud person, like just in my life in general. So I wouldn't really be that. I don't know. I'd just be me. Just whatever that is, I'd be me. And I mean, just stay focused on the task at hand. Like, you know, some people, it seems like, get caught up in the fact that, you know, they're on a reality TV show, they got all these cameras on them and all that stuff, and so they try and like, I don't know, play things up and like, you know, I don't know, just make themselves, I don't know, amplify everything and try and make themselves bigger and whatever, just gain an audience and fans and stuff. And I get it, like it's part of the game, you know, you gotta like build a fan base, gets you more money, better fights, all that stuff. But I don't know, I just have a tough time myself playing into that. I don't know, I'm not a fan of fake people, and I don't like being fake, and honestly I'm just too lazy to pretend to be someone that I'm not. So I generally am just myself, and I don't know, if you like it, cool. If not, whatever.
Good.
Cool.
Well, thank you, sir.